Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, I finally put my hands on an Oris Diver 65. This is the Bezel World 2018 release with a bronze lining around the bezel and a rose gold color on the dial. You could call it gilt dial as well, I guess. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Actually, the Oris Diver 65 is the watch that kind of got me into mechanical watches a couple of years ago. I think it came out in 2015, and it's been released in very different colors and a couple of different sizes. This watch here, actually, you can find it also in 36 millimeters. This is the 40 millimeter. And so it's been very popular for Oris. It's a reissue of a diver model from 50 years ago that they have resized, upsized. And it's a very light watch at 76 grams. So here's the 40 millimeter version, 12.8 millimeters of height, but a lot of it is due to the domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflecting coating. Although I'm not sure if it does really big job at protecting from reflections. You can actually see the applied markers reflecting on the sapphire as well here. But it's got that vintage look of the very domed mineral crystals of the past. And obviously this dial is absolutely gorgeous. I really love the color combination. It reminds me a bit of that recent release from Seiko, the SLA 025, that big Marine Master type diver reissue from the 68 model. It has these colors and that type of hands, but it's a much bigger watch. Here you have a very slim, slender watch, almost precious, especially with this tropic strap, which tapers to 16 millimeters only. But it works really well with the watch. You can find it with brown leather, a dark one and a light brown leather, which is a bit bizarre on supposedly diver's watch. And if you wear it in a tropical climate, you know, in a hot city like Hong Kong, well, what you're going to do at the end of the day is going to be really dirty, full of sweat. It's going to turn out pretty bad pretty quickly, and you can't really wash off the watch at the end of the day. So I'd much rather have this rubber strap. You can also buy the watch on the bracelet, but I think it looks better, it pops better here on this this rubber strap, which is of great quality, really supple. It's amazing, feels great. I've been wearing this for 24 hours during the day, during the night. It's just fantastic. Lots of apertures here to let the wrist aerate. So really you don't feel trapped even when you run errands outside and the weather is really hot and humid. It's not too long either. It doesn't stick out too much like many Seiko straps do. And you can see that I like the holes punched, which double up as the place where you're gonna buckle the strap. The buckle here is brushed, quite simple here, and the minder has the same pattern as you find the tropic pattern, I believe it's called, on the top. What's interesting is here the rubber goes on the side as well with those steps. So it's a very good quality, really good quality, one of the best rubber straps that I've seen. Maybe it's silicone, I'm not a specialist of those things. On the back you just have the Oris logo. It's a screw down back, probably to help the water resistance, which is only 100 meters, so it's not really a serious diver's watch, but you can take it to the water and do some shallow diving, probably much deeper than I would ever dare going anyway. So I have it here. I have the Longines Legend Diver for comparison, and we'll talk about it more a bit later. Those watches retail at the same prices, so it's quite interesting to put them in comparison. And I also have brought my Maurice Lacroix icon because it shares the same movement as this watch, but there's a little difference there as well that we need to touch on. Let's just get back to the beautiful dial here. I think this dial is really perfection. So even if this watch is not technically a very competent diver, I think it really makes up in the looks department, and you could wear it every day. It's great with a suit, it's great with jeans, and it's going to be great on the beach as well. So you have this rose gold finish around the hour markers which are applied. I really like the straight button type hands for the hour and the minutes. Simple seconds hand, but the lollipop is at the like the 2/3 of the way, and it has loom on it as well. The loom everywhere has that sort of vintage patina style to it, and at night it looks really good. Even at 6 in the morning, the loom was still working perfectly well, including on that pip of loom on the seconds hand. The loom on the hour markers is fairly dim, while the loom on the hour, minute and seconds hand is brighter. So it gives a great contrast, and it's very legible at any time of the night, and it will last long. It's not like a flashlight like the Seiko loom is, but it lasts at the same power throughout the night. All around you have also in the same sort of color, golden color, the minute and the seconds track. You can see that the seconds do reach that track, and the minutes do as well, so you can read the time really precisely. The writing on the dial is very discreet. Oris automatic on top, water resistant, 10 bar, 100 meter at the bottom. I think it's really well balanced, and in the dim light of the morning, those writings actually would disappear. So it shows that it's done tastefully, and it's just enough information, and it doesn't stand out too much. Really a great styling here. And one of the best features here, I forgot to mention, it's the mention of a Swiss made here at the bottom. One of the great features here obviously is the date placement at 6 o'clock on a black backdrop, so it's very discreet, absolutely lovely. Now the bezel, it's not the easiest one to grip, but it's not a big trouble. You can hear the clicking. I will put it next to the microphone. It's a fairly strong clicking. I'm not sure how to describe it. Not the most pleasant, but it has a good action, a little bit of backlash, not too much, and it lines back up at the 12 fairly well if you bring it back a bit, you know, if you know what I mean. Maybe it's a hair to the left. Overall, it's okay. And there's a pip of loom at the 12 o'clock marker as well. Obviously, the bronze is one of the big features of this watch. It's really lovely. It's just enough bronze to cure that bronze wish that I had without being too much. And I guess it will patina really nicely. As you can see, the watch is near mint, but I didn't buy it brand new. I bought it for a fantastic price with the full box and the warranty for only $1,000. It's a watch that retails at $2,000, almost there. And you can find it on the gray market. I mean, you can probably get it at the ADs, the authorized dealers, for 15–20% off. And the gray market dealer like Germa Shop is selling it at $1,400. At that price level, I wasn't sure I really wanted the watch. I had tried it on here, and as lovely as it is, you know, it's not really serious diver, so maybe I wanted to save my money to buy something more substantial, let's say, in the future, maybe a Rolex Sea Dweller or something. But when I found this deal on Facebook of all places, I knew that it was the right moment to get the watch. So I'm not sure you're gonna find a price as good. You can probably find the other Oris Diver 65s used, the other models below the $1,000 price point. But this brand new one is gonna be hard to beat that price. The crown here, the crown is stainless steel like the rest of the case. The case has is polished on the side. The crown has a coin edge, and it's the usual movement inside. I mean, Oris makes great manufacture movements. All sorts of them. They make big divers as well with great instrumentations on the watch itself for depth or altitude and whatnot. But here, to keep the cost down, They use a base as a base the Sellita SW201, which is the same one that I have here in the Maurice Lacroix. They rebranded it as the Oris Caliber 733. I guess they have probably the red rotor, and maybe they change a couple of parts or adjust it a little bit. This one here, unfortunately, runs a bit slow. It loses 10 seconds a day, which is not a deal breaker. It's better when a watch goes a bit too fast. It's easier to reset every day or after 3-4 days. This one will take a bit more effort, but it's all right. Obviously, it doesn't seem to be adjusted. While here, my icon from Maurice Lacroix is very predictable. It averages at 0 really, and if you leave it on the side like this at night, it will lose 3 seconds. If you leave it flat up with the dial up, it will gain 3 seconds. So it's very easy to sort of adjust it yourself overnight, and so you don't never have to reset it. So speaking of resetting, let's unscrew the crown, which is very smooth on this watch. Pop out there you go, it pops. It's always a bit unnerving, the way those crowns pop on those Sellitas. The winding has that ratchety noise. Maybe you can hear it on the microphone, which I don't really like. It's the same noise on the Maurice Lacroix, even worse, I think. What I don't like so much, I like that the date clicks at midnight, unlike what you see on Seiko, for example. What I don't like so much is that to turn the time here, the second position. Obviously, it stops the seconds. You have to go down instead of up. Up is a much easier motion. Going down, especially on those long gears of the Sellita, takes a long time. I really don't enjoy that at all. And the date, actually, let me show you how the date clicks in at midnight. You'll see. Up until 11:30, nothing happens. Then at 11:35, it engages and clicks in at midnight. So that's very nice. Let's take it out of the danger zone here. And obviously you have quick set of the date. There you go. No problem there. Screwing the crown back is very smooth, very easy. I think that's something they've done well. Maybe it's probably better than on the icon. So maybe they did some work there a little bit. So yeah, overall this watch competes with the Longines Legend Diver, which puts off some people because it's a bit bigger, 42mm, and has very long lugs. It's also all polished, so you will get more scratches, while here you have a polish on the side but brushed on the top here. What's cool about the Longines is that you have the two crowns. The one on top, which is a screwed down crown like the one at the bottom, will operate the inner bezel. So different looks. Both have that vintage style, vintage patina on the loom. Not much loom elements on the Longines. Actually, the legibility is better on the Oris. And the Oris, of course, is a bit smaller at 40mm, and it's a 42mm that wears smaller than, say, Rolex Submariner. So for smaller wrists, mine is 17cm, by the way, or 16¾ inches. For smaller wrists, I think the Oris will wear better. And overall, I think it kind of looks, yeah, maybe because I just got it, I feel like it looks better. But I really like the strap on it. It's really soft. Probably better than that bizarre strap from the Longines, which will peel off after a while if you wear it in a hot environment. But yeah, the Oris, especially this, the Longines, especially this one without the date, is in very high demand and has gained some value. So it's both are great reissues of the original divers from the brands. There's no you can't really go wrong with either. You can wear them every day. I'm a date kind of person, and while the date has ruined the dial on the Longines a little bit at 3 o'clock, here Oris is putting it at 6 o'clock, which is much better. By the way, the Longines runs the original movement, the 2824 ETA, while Oris runs the clone made by Sellita. If you're not familiar with those things, Sellita and ETA are both manufacturers from Switzerland. They make movements in huge quantities, and because the ETA 2824 has been around for a long time and the patents have expired, Sellita can do clones of them. But Sellita actually also puts together movements for ETA, so it's not like it's some Chinese workshop, sweatshop, you know. They make proper movements, and you can get them adjusted as you have seen on the Maurice Lacroix. But Oris is not part of the Swatch group, so it doesn't get enough ETA movement, ETA calibers to satisfy the sort of volumes that they are producing. So that's why you get the Sellita, and it works fine. And if you have a problem with it, fixing it won't cost a fortune. What else should I say? Yeah, I'm really chuffed, as some say on YouTube, chuffed to bits by this watch. Enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. It really suits my wrist and I guess the color of my skin if it's a bit tanned with this color scheme. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. That would really help the channel, and like the video as well, so it will pop up in the search engines. And if you have any questions about this watch or any of these 2-3 watches, let me know. Happy to answer them all. All right, guys, take care.